Imagica Pictures presents The Blue Diviners by Auntie Pickard. Audiobook read by Kimberly Pickard. Chapter 4. Blink. Capture the Sky. To the sky, Jim, Boris says, leading me down the lobby's grand staircase. Another matching staircase spirals down, mirroring the one we stepped down. At the foot of the last carpeted tread, we step into a shallow pool of water that blankets the grand lobby's floor. It's sad to see this once luxuriant hotel soaked by a pool of canal water. Those thoughts dissolve with each soggy step. I follow Boris closely. He leads us into a hall that seems guarded by the curling staircases we just descended. At the end of this hall, Boris pushes open two heavy wooden double doors. The parting doors create a tide of water rippling away. We enter a ballroom, I think. Or is it where theater guests gathered before a show? A chandelier as big as a carousel hangs from the ceiling. The crystal pieces pick up glints of light streaming from the outside windows. The light shimmers in the water, bringing some warmth to this ancient and cold water. "Follow," Boris interjects. We step through another set of doors that open to a theater. So odd to see a theater in a hotel. We walk up a ramp, and in between the seating aisles, I see the full scale of the theater. Down below us, a pool of water has taken over the front row and the orchestra pit. A makeshift bridge crosses over the pit and leads up to a semicircular stage. Old backdrops hint at historical dramas that must have played out here. The backdrops rise impossibly high. I crane my neck to see the ceiling, which is capped by a steel-reinforced glass dome. Light cascades from the leaded glass dome and illuminates a variety of ropes and acrobatic bars that remind me of a big top circus. How many stories up do the walls go? 6 or 8 at least. We step onto the stage. The scale boggles my mind. All the ropes hanging down are still so high off the stage floor, you would have to leap even to catch the lowest one. What once was a stage looks more like a training course, but vertical. Boris points to where the rope meets the ceiling. "You must find a way up there. You may climb, you may jump. However, when you reach the top, you will retrieve a heavy bag perched on the iron beam. You may not drop the bag." Why am I doing this? You want to find your mother? You will need to learn how to get around Alexandria. You learn the sky, Jim. You'll learn the city. And we have guests arriving soon. I will need your help. What guests could we be having? Who would want to come here? Let's begin. Okay, I mutter under my breath, faking confidence. Boris walks to the edge of the stage and plops down on a stool. I step toward the lowest hanging rope. It hangs above me tantalizingly close, like a butterfly just out of reach. I leap and fail. Even if I touch the rope, will I be able to hold on? I look to Boris. Maybe he has a clue. Am I doing this right? He shrugs and pulls from his backpack a book's worth of papers to read. Then I remember the bed. When I jumped on it until I bumped my head on the ceiling. With the wood stage, I don't have the springiness of the mattress, but I do have the leap. I start jumping up and down, like a human pogo stick. I feel my vertical reach stretching, and after a series of pogos, I reach and perform a two-handed grapple on the tail of the rope. Success! Then, failure. My weight pulls me back down to the stage, and I crumple like a wad of paper on the old boards of the stage. I need to think about how to approach this. I repeat the cycle. This time, when I grasp the rope, I kick my legs up and clasp my thighs around the rope above me. I'm upside down, but I'm off the ground and clinging to the rope. Now I can begin the ascent. I pull myself up and then lower my legs so I'm right side up. I glance down at Boris. He lifts his eyes up from his papers. Unimpressed, he looks back down at his dumb papers. I climb higher, getting better at the sequence of actions. Pull with hands, lift legs, squeeze. Pull with hands, and so on. I'm like an inchworm, extending, scrunching, and extending again. But I'm wearing out quickly. I feel a pain in my side. Perhaps a result of my near-drowning experience from earlier. With pain, a panic sets in. I'm fairly high up now. Letting go is not an option. I suppose I should mix up my inching progress with another technique. What do you think, Boris? I look down at the oaf. He seems to have no interest in my struggle, even though he brought me here. Shouldn't he care? Now, I can feel the fibers of the rope burning into my hands, leaving their mark on my palms. Refocus. I look around for an alternate route to the top. Can't climb the walls, but the other ropes look promising. Some are connected by flexible beams. Looking at them another way, they could form a ladder to the sky. By themselves, they don't allow for a successful ascent, but in combination, I think I can make a spiral sort of ladder, a zigzagging kind of path. I twist my torso to the left and the right, which starts a swaying motion with the rope. I'm a pendulum now, swaying high above the stage, but I'm within a few feet of my first beam. I take a breath in, then reach out and catch the rope holding the beam. Quick grab. I pull on the bar, letting go of the other rope. My legs dangle below. I pull up on the beam and get it snug under my armpits. It crunches into my chest. I don't see how I'll ever be able to stand on this beam. I feel like I'm lost at sea, clutching a life raft. But I do spot the prize. A large coffee bag nestled in one of the dusty beams that hold up the glass dome. Another deep breath. I make my next move. I swing my legs up and down, generating a back and forth motion. When I get close to the next beam, I'll swing my legs forward and up. It's a struggle, but it works. As I go up, I swing toward another beam near the wall. I swing and launch with my feet going up. I hurtle toward the rope beam while letting go of the other. I'm a missile of flesh launching upward. The sole of my boots strike the beam. I reach out but miss the target. I plummet like a shabby bag of rocks. Boris, once far away, now zooms into view as I skydive toward the stage. He rises from his chair, folds his bundle of papers, and places them in his jacket pocket. Has he no sense of urgency? I guess he just doesn't need it. He calmly extends his tree trunk arms and catches me like a pillow. I am saved once again by the golem. And it upsets me a little that he rescued me twice now. Why can't I fall on my own? make my own mistakes. I should be realistic. I was headed for disaster. What am I training for? I ask. You will see. Try again. He rights me up on my feet. After shaking off the jitters of the perilous descent, I feel even stronger than when I made my original leap for the rope. This newfound strength clears my head. I study the rope course with a new set of eyes. There are other ways to approach this. Don't start with the long rope. That's just a trick for the lazy-minded. This should be easy but look complicated when pulled off correctly. Then an idea comes to me. The main rope is for the descent, not the ascent. I leap up and grab the long rope. Rather than crabbing up to the ceiling, I swing over to the lowest beam. I hang on to the beam and start twisting my body like a figure skater, making a corkscrew. The two ends of the rope holding the beam twist together. Their length shortens, lifting me up like a helicopter. I repeat this several times and trade one beam for another until I have made it halfway. I reach for the long rope and miss. I'm plunging downward, and just as before, Boris rises from his chair, extends his arms, and catches me. His cold breath blows uncomfortably close to my face. I expected too much. Enough for today. I wiggle out of his arms. Excuse me? I say. He gives me one of those looks, that I don't report to you kind of look. You're not ready, he grumbles. Which begs the question, what am I supposed to be ready for? So far as I can tell, there are just two people here, myself and Boris. No, he blurts, using that nasty telepathy trick. There are two more. So since you have failed today, I will talk to someone who might be able to encourage you. Who? Olga, he mutters as he's walking away. Is she my mother? I inquire. No. He plods away. I follow. His weight seems to create mini earthquakes with each step. He is all things giant, tall, muscular, wide in the shoulders. I imagine him to be a wrestler. Maybe that is why he needs me to do the obstacle course, because he's too big for the sky gym. Boris turns around and leers at me. That's my cue to silence my thoughts, and I do. He turns and tromps ahead. I watch his steps and keep a safe distance behind him. I don't mind. We are our own little team of two, and maybe three when we meet this Olga. I hope she's not like him. Although, who am I to judge? I'm not even sure who I am yet. Maybe this Olga can help.